then I put out my first demo when I was 16, most anticipated. That was really it for that. And then after that, it was Nomads, and it was a wrap from there.
Nomads.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the Nomads.
Shout out to Nomads.
The gang, man.
Yeah.
We put in a lot of work from Lima to Columbus, all over Ohio.
Yeah,
so, you know, that's what, you know.
You don't know which way to go. God's plan. Do you really understand what's God's plan? A lot of times, man plan that we design that we follow.
Welcome to the Superpowers podcast. We back with another episode. Living Legends. We got another legend in the house. This episode is brought to you by our sponsors, Legacy Tax. Shout out to them for always showing love. And let's get to it, man. We got a real legend in the house that I personally know, that known my whole life.
Yeah.
And it's my brother right here, Piwreckz.
What's good with you, my brother? Yeah.
What's good?
Superpowers podcast, man. Shout out to them, man, for bringing me on board. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We're going to get right into it, man, because we got so much to talk about. And a lot of people know you in the city. A lot of people know you in the state. But we do got some people that's outside the state who really don't know who Piwreckz is. So let's give them a quick, brief understanding of who Piwreckz is, man, and what you do.
Yeah, I'm an artist, first of all. You know what I'm saying? I started doing music a while ago, over 20 years now, man. I mean, you know, I'm dabbled and dabbled with the graphic designs, audio engineering, all things media, man. I just, you know, now I'm a chef, but
let's talk about that. Let's get into that real quick, man.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's been a journey for you to become a chef. I've known you since we was kids, man. So you, in 2007, 2008, I never thought you'd be a chef.
Man, that was crazy,
just being
bro.
real, man. You know, I'd have never imagined that you would be like, you know, catering weddings and shit.
I mean, you know, we was Vikings back then. We was sleeping in the studio, recording all day, 24/7. To be a chef, it was like, you know, you got to clean up all the way your act and become, you know, a little bit more responsible and a little bit more clean. But yeah, I never thought it either. But I always cooked. I had a passion for food. You know, man, if we ate something nasty, I'd never hesitated to tell a person.
Like, you would spend $30 on a meal if it was nasty. You would.
I would tell them.
You would complain.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
That ain't right. That ain't right. Yeah, I got to go back to the drawing board. Yeah.
You did my brother's wedding, and like, man, everybody just kept talking about how good the food was, man, and really, really like the service.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just the people you had with you, the whole. I mean, y'all really set it off, man, and like for real, man. How do you get that to that level? Just it was 350 people y'all served, so
it was training. It was real stressful. I ain't gonna hold you. It was real stressful. I had to train a lot. I went to school in 2020. I got two degrees. I just graduated again December 24th, and I also got my associate's degree on that date, December 2024. And then I got my Serve Safe Management certificate in 2025. But it took a lot of preparation to actually do something like that, man. Like I say, it was real stressful. I was scared that I wouldn't deliver, but I know that training for 5 years is like the big fight. When you training for 5 years for something big like that, you can execute. You know what the people want. You know how to deliver it. You know how to have your service got to be up to par. The food, most definitely, the display. So I kind of learned from a lot of people on how to execute. That was really, you know, key for me to execute.
And a lot of people, don't even know you for being a chef, man. They know Piwreckz, the artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you've been rapping for what? I mean,
27 years.
27 years.
Yep,
27 years, man. Tell them about how you got started, man.
I got started, man. Shout out to Smalls. He was a big influence on me getting started with music. I was just a young dude, and I found his rap book. You know what I'm saying? He did some time in jail, and he came home. He was with my cousin Katrina. Shout out to my cousin Katrina. And I was staying out at their house as a kid. You know what I'm saying? And I stumbled across this book. And I'm reading it, and I'm seeing rhymes, and I'm seeing all of this stuff. And he snatched the book from me. He was like, "You don't know what you're looking at." And I'm like, "Say it to me." You know what I'm saying? So he said it to me, and he spit some bars for me. And around that time, I'm like, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I already was, rapping Bones music, and so he wrote my first music that I ever rapped. It was written by Small, so he would write my rhymes, and I'd go take them back to my friends and rap them for me. And then it was like, I got good at writing my own stuff, and
You was selling CDs, selling your own CDs.
Yeah.
What age?
I was 14 years old.
14.
Yep. I was selling tapes. We were splitting the tapes, and then I met a dude who had a studio, and we'd go record there, and I put out a tape. Then I put out my first demo when I was 16, most anticipated. That was really it for that. And then after that, it was Nomads, and it was a wrap from there.
Nomads.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the Nomads.
Shout out to Nomads.
the gang, man.
Yeah.
We put in a lot of work from Lima to Columbus, all over Ohio.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
that's what a lot of people know you for. That Nomad movement.
Nomads.
Man,
That was the movement
sure.
that sparked me. Like I say, it was
And
10
me
of
too.
us. Yeah. It was 10 of us,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
You know how we got down,
Yeah.
all at one crib, one house, in the basement recording. Even before that, we was all at one house in the basement
Always.
or in the back room recording and getting it in and hitting the studio. Just a brotherhood, man. If we had $5, we'd go get sandwiches and feed, we all eat. So
Yeah.
if one man had it, it was like,
Yeah.
we all had it. So that's a part of, my story on the brotherhood. That's why I'm able to still have that brotherhood with everybody, because I know it came from humble beginnings. We all looked out for each other, man, and it's still that way to today, man.
Yeah,
For real.
Yeah, real talk. And then we're going to fast forward to, let's talk about We the Midwest, man.
We the
Because a lot of
Midwest.
people, we working on this We the Midwest project, man. We want to make this We the Midwest project something that everybody going to remember. We want to put on for the Midwest. But we already been doing it. A lot of people don't realize this is part 2. You did part 1.
Yeah,
right?
I did part 1. It was about 2021, I believe. We've been in the making for a while. Shout out to We the Midwest. I featured on part 1. It was probably like 17 songs. I'm on every song. We the Midwest was a collaborative effort from people all around the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? Every state that's in the Midwest. We got some in Detroit, Illinois, Indiana. Just people, Ohio, of course. You know what I'm saying? Just from all over the region, and on this project. And we get ready to release project part 2, We the Midwest 2, Volume 2. Sonny Campbell featured on that project. He'll be on every song, and it got some dope features on this one. It's coming real soon. The album is complete. It's in the works right now.
For sure. And We the Midwest, man, the whole idea just fits your personality.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people around here know you for putting together shows, putting artists on the stage. You put a lot of artists on the stage for the first time.
Yeah.
You got a lot of features with people. You done recorded a lot of people. I mean, you done mentored a lot of people. You done, you done through events where you just really done gave the game on the music business. And a lot of people done really got to study up under you.
Yeah.
Like, we know you got the experience.
Yeah.
But like the level of knowledge that in the music business, a lot of people with experience don't even have that level of knowledge.
Right.
Where do you get that from? Like, is it like the books? I mean,
studied a lot. I remember at a young age, I read a lot of books on one-on-one music guys, music business for dummies, shit like that. It was a little stupid stuff I read, but it was trying to apply that. It all come from experience, man.
Yeah.
Doing shows and even paying for shows and getting beat for shows. You experienced it. Like, we had paid for shows in Florida and somebody got us for the money, or you know, or putting out music with no publishing and no copyrights. Also took a course at Media Base. Shout out to Doc J. He was one of my mentors at Media Base. And if you don't know who Media Base is, I suggest you to do your research on what Media Base do. They chart top records and for the radio station. But I took probably like a 6-week course with them, and man, it just gave me the game on the Music Monetization Act and how everything's structured and who get paid what, music royalties and ISRC code, ISNI numbers. Man, it's deeper than what the average person think, and it's a lifestyle. It's a lot of money in it for underground artists. People think that they can't get no money as underground artists. You know, you don't got checks off the music game. Yeah. I get checks off the music game. It might not be much, but I just got a 1099 in the mail from United Masters and from Lander, and I'm looking at from TuneCore. I'm looking at all these companies that send me 1099s, and I'm looking at all the money that I made. It's like, dang, you know, I done made a few $1,000s in 1 year, like off the music. That's some, you know, for underground, you can pay some bills with that, you know. Exactly. And that's no effort, so it just took some experience, I'll say.
And it's your art. You know what I'm saying? To be able to make money off your art is, you know, really a privilege. You know, it could grow too. It's digital real estate. So that's one thing about it. And people fail to realize just because we plant the seeds now don't mean they can't, you know what I'm saying, flourish 10 years from now and be, you know, you got so many avenues where you could push the music, you know, soundtracks, different things like, you know, placements, you know. But you know about a lot about that, and you putting it in that book. That you finna drop.
I wrote a book. I've been working on it for the last 2-3 years. It's finally complete. I'm in the phases of getting it published right now. But I got a lot of game from a guy. His name is Barry Coffey. He's a music director, music supervisor down in Texas. And he just a real numbers guy. And he brought me in on panels where I talked to people like the co-founder of Disney Radio, and I was able to get him game, like, you know, Jonas Brothers managers. I was able to get him game due to Barry Coffin about the music game. And it was like thinking, I come from a small place. How can I give multi-millionaires or mentor multi-millionaires on music rights, copyrights, and on how to get performance royalties? And I actually did that, man. And it's like, dang. They're like, man, you ain't rich. You sure you are who you say you are when I give them the knowledge, you know? And that's where I believe with, you know, if you study this music game, you can figure out a way to make some money, or you could just get the book, or you can come talk to me and do a one-on-one, and I talk about that. And Master P said he paid Michael Jackson's attorney $25,000.
Yeah.
For some game, and he told him one thing, and it was about independence, you know, being independent. And look at him now, he's a multi-millionaire. So don't hesitate to pay somebody if you don't know, you know.
Man, I think it's one of the most genius things that most millionaires do is they really like they pay for education.
Yeah, they pay. I mean, 50 talk about it in his book, Work Harder, Work Smarter. He said, man, I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't just pay the top people in their field to do what they, you know, do best.
And it's simple. It's simple. A lot of people waiting for somebody to give them the game or give them something, but it's like you could really pay for the game. It's in these books, it's in these courses, it's in these workshops, and really, if you just do good business with the right people, they'll give you the game.
They give you the game, you know? Man. Like I say, Barry Coffin. He was a big. I met him on Clubhouse, man. He flew to Columbus, Ohio. We talking about one of the biggest music supervisors in the game. And that got something to do with songs we hear on heavy movies. You know what I'm saying? He flew to Columbus, Ohio, met with me, talked on some of my panels, and he just been like giving me the game, man, on how to get this money in the music game. And not only was he giving me game, I'm giving him game. I'm talking about a veteran in the game. Like, he like, man, like, how do you know this stuff? And I'm just thinking, like, that's a good question. How do I know this stuff?
Nah, but look, that's what we going to get to the next part. And my reason or my idea of how you know this stuff, but I
Yeah.
want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What do you feel like your superpower is?
Working hard, man. I know people might not think that's a superpower, but I mean, when you work hard, you get results that like the average human being don't get. Like when you just put in hours and hours of work, people would think you He-Man. Like
Yeah.
it just came overnight, and I know a lot of things that I accomplished came from hard work, man. I think hard work is a superpower if you work smarter. You know what I'm saying? Not
It
just
is.
like picking up 100,000 of pounds a day and just, I'm talking about really using your mind and working hard, man.
Now, I will say that, like, I feel like your superpower is definitely tenacity, and really not just on a worldly level, even on a spiritual level. Because being around you, I've seen you like put the pieces to the puzzle together when everybody was done with the puzzle. Because it was like you up till 6 o'clock in the morning, like I figured it out, and just that tenacity sometimes. It gets people to the next level because for me, I got to do it in increments, man, just to be
I
honest,
still call
man.
you to this day up all night. I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, seriously, and I be like, man, I'm done.
I'm
You know
like,
what
no, I
I'm
got
saying?
it.
Once I'm mentally drained, it's like over, and I recoup like the next day.
Yeah.
But like you don't go to sleep
Nah, I
till
don't.
it's done.
I don't. I mean,
And-
I probably
yeah.
get 2 to 3 hours of sleep a day, man. And people be like, "What you doing?" You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing, man? I just cannot sleep. You know, they say the cousin of sleep is death, and I'm man. If that's it, I'm probably killing myself from being awoke too much, man. You know,
Yeah.
at least 2 to 3 hours daily, man. I go to sleep I'm the last person asleep, and I'm the first person woke, man. Literally. And that's how I know the grind don't stop with me. If I don't have work, I'm creating work. I'm creating leads. If I don't have a job, I'm gonna send out 100 blasts saying, "Do you need a flyer?" If I'm gonna send out I do that, man. I create the work, and that's how I'm able
you
to
work, you network. Like I said, man, tenacity is your thing, man. You don't give up, and you done been in situations that were like hella setbacks, where I seen you not give up, and you came out of them situations where everybody really counted you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you want to talk about it, man, but I know people need to hear that.
It just come from not giving up, man. I studied, man. Even I just went through a situation. I was just incarcerated, and the whole time I'm incarcerated, I was helping other brothers out that mud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was helping them dudes. They'd be like, "Hey, yo, Piwreckz, man, can you look at my case and tell me what I need to do?" Because I went to trial, but the whole 3 years I was on pretrial, I was in them books. I was learning the law, man. That's something I feel like everybody should do. Learn the law. Because they will, if you don't know what you're getting into, they'll get dead railroad you, man, get you up that creek. So I studied the whole time I was in a federal penitentiary, and it helped me, man. It helped me.
Yeah.
It helped me come up out of there knowing what I was into and knowing the severity of what you into is crucial, because going into it, I didn't know how severe things was. Every state case that I had, I went to trial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And just to speak on that, that was the first time I really seen like you dig in and you was like, I'm not just letting them tell me nothing.
No.
You was like, nah, this ain't right. Take that back.
Yeah.
I need to talk to this person. I'm like, man, how you know all this? You know what I'm saying?
I studied it. Like 2010, I caught a state case. I got the NAACP involved. I got the Lima News involved. I got the Ohio Supreme Court involved. I filed grievance with the grievance committee at the Ohio Supreme Court. I did so much.
So with that being said, how did you get home on this last case?
Oh, I got denied. My motion for new trial got denied. Matter of fact, it was on my mom's birthday, December 13th. I'm sick, not knowing I'm about to come home in January.
Okay.
So I filed an appeal on my case, and the motion got denied. I didn't get the new trial. I'm sick. So probably a week later, my attorney come into my come to see me at the jail cell, and he like I got some good news and I got some bad news. Now, mind you, I got people on Pacer every day looking at my case, like, and they told me beforehand, like, man, you ain't getting out. You about to have to go sit it down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sick, man. I'm talking about throwing up sick. Like, he come in and tell me I got some good news and I got some bad news. The bad news is your motion got denied. You know what I'm saying? I said, hit me with the bad news first. He said, your motion got denied. There's no new trial. I said, so give me the good news. He put a stack of papers in front of me, and he said, your sentence is coming up within a month. And you're only looking at 27 months.
Damn.
You've been in here for 20 months. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And he was like, so yeah, my friend, you're not going to the penitentiary.
Yeah, man. A lot of people needed to hear that though, man, because it was a lot of big numbers being said when you caught your case, and people just not really realizing.
So if you have if you have a convicted felony in the federal system, it's an enhancement. And an enhancement on guns and drug charges, it can be tremendous. It can be up to 10 years, 12 years, you know what I'm saying, or more. You know what I'm saying? But mine was when I was 18.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at damn near 20 years ago, I had a felony. You know what I'm saying? Which played a part. They couldn't use that to enhance my sentence.
But it played a part in you getting found guilty.
Yeah. So, like during my trial, all of that was brought up. Everything was brought up, and that's when I'm like, dang. So the jury looking at me like, yeah, you been selling dope. You been doing all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was a part. I knew I was gonna be found guilty. I'm thinking I got a little bit more time to come home and get my affairs in order. But the judge say, Mr. Cannon, you have now been found guilty. We're gonna reprimand you to the state in custody of the U.S. Marshals. So I'm gone. I'm like, damn. Third day of trial, I got taken away. You know what I'm saying? Didn't get to holler at nobody. I let everybody know I'm going to trial, and it's a chance that I could be found guilty. And they found me guilty, and they took me off right then and there. You know what I'm saying? And so the whole time I'm in there, I'm in the law library. I'm figuring out what I got to do. But a lot of dudes in there was like, bro, like, man, how long ago was your felony? You know what I'm saying? They like 20, damn near 20 years ago. They're like, nigga, why you didn't take a plea? You know what I'm saying? Like, they'd have probably gave you probation. You know what I'm saying? But I had a new attorney. This was his first case in the federal system. He knew nothing about how the federal system worked. He offered me, my first plea was like 12 years.
Damn.
And then my second plea came back was like 9 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if I'd have signed that plea, nigga, I got less time by going to federal trial than taking a plea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if I'd have took the plea, I was done. And that was it. Signed, sealed, and delivered. I went to trial, bro. I did my PSI. The lady from the probation unit came and talked to me and was like, I can't find no enhancements. You are a good part of the community. You do a music festival every year. Your felony was 20 years ago. It was like, you don't fit the criteria to go to federal penitentiary. You got to fit the bill. Even when I got sentenced and she said, I'm going to sentence you to time served. She said, you're nothing like the people we see in here. You know what I'm saying? This is the judge looking me in my eyes. She said, I don't want to see you back here, but I'm going to send you to time served. You know what I'm saying? And which is the COs and my attorney already knew. I was coming home. They hit my cell that morning and said, Cannon, pack up, you're going home. And I'm like, man, get out of here, man. It was one of them COs who always joke around. I'm like, man, go home, man. You know what I'm saying? Leave me alone. I ain't even been sentenced yet. You know what I'm saying? My court date ain't till another month. So they expedited my sentencing because I done already served my time. You know what I'm saying? So the judge goes off of the PSI. You know what I'm saying? In situations, she can go rogue and make her own, or he can make their own decisions, but they got to go upon the guidelines, the federal sentencing guidelines. So when they going on the guidelines, if you done did 20-something months in your time, so they got to expedite, they got to get you in front of there and give you that time served. But I ain't know none of that still. And, I'm doing all this research. But, yeah, man, he came and woke me up like, come home, Real, so I go to court. I'm in my suit that I got sentenced in while I'm going to court, bro. in the same suit. In my property, I get dressed, got all my stuff packed up. I'm like, man, they about to move me. They about to sit. I'm about to ride out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This what everybody like. Cannon ride. He about to ride out. That's what they tell people. They going home, but they ride out. But shit, man, my brother was right there at the motherfucking courthouse. He, everything that I heard, he heard. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, it was people at my trial. It was niggas at my trial, family, friends, sisters. Man, I had hella support. My niggas supported me the whole way through jail. Man, I talked to you so much, bro.
Yeah.
Every time, man, you was going through some things, I was going through some things. Man, I call you sick and talking to you, bro. Like, like it wasn't one of them things that nothing was out of the public. My case on Pacer, this all facts. This all shit you could check.
Now, with that being said, I do want to ask you this. Even though I noticed things always working out for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, if you'd have just signed the wrong thing at the wrong time, you'd have been doing a lot of time for no necessary reason.
Yeah.
So things kind of worked out. But going through that situation, do you have a perspective of saying it was a reason why I had to go? Because we all was like, man, that's some bullshit what they was on anyway, how they came and got you. But is there anything that said, man, I see why I had to go do that?
Man, we talked about that, and I at the pace I was going and how I was living life, I probably wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God find a way to preserve his most powerful people. He sent his most powerful people through the most craziest battles, and I was one of them. I had to fight that battle. I gave myself to people.
Mm-hmm.
To people who was unworthy, some worthy. And who's to say who was unworthy at the time, but I gave myself to everybody. I was accessible, and I was in there for something, a favor that I was doing for somebody else that didn't even benefit me. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, you putting all of this in front of your family. You putting all of this in front of before your kids, before your friends, before your parents, for your siblings. Everything that I was doing, I put before my priorities.
Real talk.
And I hate to say that I had to go sit down to get my priorities straight, but that's just what it is. So it wasn't no mistake. God don't make no mistakes, and I'm a firm believer in that. So.
Nah, that's deep, man. Like, you can always find a lesson in the losses.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of people, I feel like what they call it a victim mentality.
Yeah.
Where they look at things that happen to them instead of things that happen for them.
Yeah.
So it's like when you really look at the thing that happened for you, you be like, okay, now I know what to do.
Yeah.
But without that, you still contemplating on why it happened to you instead of why did it happen for you.
And I looked at it like that a lot, man. I'm like, man, why they fucking with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't me. This ain't supposed to be my life. This ain't, I'm a great father, even though, like I say, I put things before my family, sometimes in certain situations, this shouldn't be me. I do what I'm supposed to do, and I help the people. Like, why me?
It's hindsight. You when it first hit, for anybody, you like, that's the first thing but the reality of it is, it's hindsight, because if you was still sitting there, it might be hard to see. But coming home, you like, I see,
I see why.
Yeah.
I definitely see why, man.
And you said something, I just want to touch on this real quick, because you said something that a lot of people know about, they don't know about. You mentioned Rex Fest, and you put on a whole festival. You was putting on festivals in Lima.
Yeah.
Like, saying, was you cased up then, or?
Yeah, I was out of case when I did my last Rex Fest.
Yeah, you still putting on festivals.
I was in
Lima,
the newspaper. I was on the news. Everything with a case, man. I'm talking about some of the darkest moments of my life where I'm looking at going to the penitentiary for quite some time, and the only thing I can think of is how to help my community. You know what I'm saying? How to help my people and how to get these rappers on. Man, when I brought Barry Coffin, when I brought Kev Sutton here from Philadelphia and Barry from Texas to mentor to the music, to the rappers, I was cased up, bro.
I remember I was on the panel.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
on the panel with him.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what
So
I'm
when I
saying?
brought all of these, influential people to the city to help artists, bro,
Yeah.
I couldn't even fathom helping myself at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's when I say I was putting everything before my priorities. That was the instance right there. You know?
But yeah, like I said, that's like that. What I see is superpower, tenacity. Don't just lie on like your own self development, but you would go above and beyond for other people. Like we were just talking during the break, man. You connected a lot of dots for people for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing.
Like for nothing in return. Like you really, you done really passed the ball and passed the dollar, passed the buck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Passed the game to a lot
And
of
that's-
people.
and
And
that's-
that might be why you keep excelling.
One
you
of
know
your
what I'm
most
saying?
potent interviews and one of your most potent conversations you had was with a guy named Les Brown, and you taught me this before I went to jail. Les Brown, he told you passion versus purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
I found my purpose in helping people though. So, and that's my purpose in feeding people. My purpose in life was to help people, but I always moved in a passion like so.
But the truth is that's everybody's purpose. Your purpose is not for you. Your passion is.
Yeah.
You so passionate about it, but you need the struggle of passion.
Yeah.
Because the struggle of passion takes you through all this
Yeah.
shit for you to learn these lessons.
Yeah.
But the purpose is like, man, I do this so easy for other people, but I have to do this because if I don't do this, then I'm gonna be on my deathbed feeling unfulfilled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, listen. We got to do a part 2 and a part 3, man, because there's so much we got to talk about, man. And then, it's so, like I said, man, we might need to do a whole damn docu-series.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real, man, because you got a lot of game. And not just game, man. You got wisdom, man. You done been through a lot of things, man, that you can really help a lot of people. And we're going to do that. We working on some things this summer. We ready. Foundation. We locked and loaded. We coming. We coming to help the youth. We coming to help grown people who need help with getting a business in order and understanding business. Man, let's do some shout outs real quick.
Yeah, I want to shout out to Superpowers Podcast first and foremost, man. And then I want to shout out to 1216 Cuisine, Rex Fest. Shout out to Red Ties. Shout out to Legacy Tags, man. I want to shout out to the Hat Locker. Shout out to JD the Jeweler. Man, there's so many shout outs to give, man. 614 Films, shout out to Fortune Over Fame, man, Ohio. Man, shout out to all the people that stood solid with me while I was going through my thing. Shout out to We the Midwest, man, my family. All the people that was riding with me, man, my kids, my girl, man. Shout out to my Nomad family. We right here, man. Superpowers Podcast, man. Shout out to Big Man. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Mr. Big Man Greer. Special shout out to Big Man. And we gotta give you another book, man. You got all the books, man. But this one, we can't let nobody leave.
I ain't got that one
without getting a book from Mr. Big Man Greer, courtesy of Greer Media Group. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. And we need him home, man. So
big advocate for that.
Y'all know we got some stuff coming, man, to really enlighten y'all on what's going on with that situation, cause we need him home, man, and we need to know what you want to tell the people. We already did the shout outs and we know what you got up next, but I want you to hit them with something that's like profound, man. Something that you discovered that you would want to pass down to somebody if you had to pass it down. What would that be?
If I had to pass something down, man, I'll say each one teach one, man. That's really it, man. All the knowledge and everything that I experienced in life, I want to be able to help somebody, man. We talk about moral obligations, and I feel like we all have a moral obligation to the youth. So each one teach one, man. That's it, man. That's what everything. That's the foundation of everything, man. They say the game is to be sold, not told, but I say each one. I say tell it, man. You feel me? Get your story out there, man. Your experiences can help somebody not go through something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I do want to leave off with something. You know what I'm saying? Before you worry about it, pray on it and leave it to God. And that's really coming from the heart. because I know a lot of people going through things. You're going through deaths. You're going through trials and tribulations financially. You know what I'm saying? But the more you worry about things, the more you bring that to you, the more it gravitate to you. So, you know, take the time to, if you pray or if you take the time, if you meditate, to just deal with it and just know that things are working for your best interest. You might not be able to see it now, but it's going to work out for you in the end. And with that being said, don't forget, always tap into your superpowers. 614 Films
ain't bumping. Yeah, superpowers, I got some of them. The power to make people move without touching them. It's hard to see people views without judging them. I say peace to the God. I was one of them.
It's just like this. When I started in this situation, I didn't know I could write. Because I never took that initiative to put the pen to the paper. But I wasn't no ignorant dude to creativity. So anything I always went at,